Hello, welcome to Survive the Apocalypse with Survival Steve. Today what I've got is some British Army 24-hour ration packs to demonstrate and give a quick show and tell as to what these are all about. You'll notice that the British Army individual 24-hour ordinary ration packs, known as ORP, come in either a bag variety such as this one, a sealed carrier bag, or this box. So before we get into it, let's just weigh the box to see what we've got. So this box comes in at just over 2 kilograms in weight. The bag is slightly less weight by about 100 grams. Okay, so 2 kilograms. 24 hours worth of food, 4,000 kilocalories. That's quite a lot of weight to be carrying, especially if you're out for multiple days. So let's put this carrier bag variety to one side. This bag, by the way, can be used for other purposes, such as disposing of litter or waterproofing items of equipment inside your rucksack. Let's have a quick measurement. 20 centimeters long by 25 centimeters by 12 centimeters. So that gives a rough indication of the pack size. Of course, if you're carrying these in a rucksack, what I would definitely recommend is taking them out of the box and using some sort of container to house them in. I tend to use these. They're like zipped mesh pencil cases, for want of a better term. Couple of sealable carrier bags or plastic bags, durable if possible, or some other form of zipped container such as this. That's what I tend to use. But let's have a look closer into the pack itself. Now, one top tip, I would carry a metal spoon as opposed to a plastic one, even though it weighs slightly more, but these are essentially unbreakable. What I can also do with this, if you can see, is I sharpen the end, so that sharpened end can be used to help open packets and food items, and it saves rummaging about my kit or my pockets or a pocket knife. So hey, I tell you what, before we start rummaging about, let's just notice these are property of the Ministry of Defence, so by rights they're not for sale. However, there are items on the civilian market of a comparable nature, usually a bit more expensive, and I've seen many of these items for sale at car boot sales or Army and Navy type stores on the likes of eBay, for example, and they're fairly inexpensive. A whole box full of food for 24 hours usually retails for around about the £15 mark, depending on where you shop about. Okay, so let's start off, and you'll notice first up is a breakfast option. This is chicken sausages and beans, and it comes in a Mylar container. That container can be opened by ripping the packet across here, or as indicated before, you can always use the sharp end of your spoon to rip across and reveal the contents. These items in the what are known as boil in the bag menus, these can be eaten hot or cold, and you can heat them up inside the bag inside a pot of hot water, or you can just open the bag up and eat the contents as it is. They are slightly fluid. These aren't dehydrated meals. Okay, so that's a breakfast option. That weighs 300 grams. The next item, again in a Mylar bag, is chicken and vegetable soup. A 300 gram Mylar bag, which can again be eaten hot or cold. That's a lunch option. Okay, we have a couple of snacks here. Midday snacks. We've got tuna and mayonnaise, again in a Mylar bag that can be ripped open, needs no preparation. And we also have a dessert in the form of a blueberry turnover. Right, the next packet this is called lamb and chickpea tahini, which is again a main meal option in a Mylar container, 300 grams in weight. So that's 3 meals we've looked at so far, 3 sort of main meals. What we're going to come across next is the ancillary side of things, where we've got snacks, including sweet chili peanuts, a packet of smooth peanut butter. Lots of calories in peanut butter, and it's a great camping food item, survival food item. Tasty too. We've also got the obligatory cereal bars and some chocolate biscuits. Other snack items, we have a fruit explosion. This is basically, open this up and you can squirt it directly into your mouth and get a power-packed hit of calories. Okay, we're coming to the bottom end of the pack. But what have we got in store here? Well, we've got a variety of different high energy, high calorie energy drinks. So apple flavoured energy drink, tutti frutti flavour, orange, and we've also got cola flavoured drinks. That's quite a lot of drink powders. We've also got this orange. Quite a lot of sugary based drinks in here, obviously to appeal to young soldiers and youngsters who seem to like that kind of thing. Personally, I prefer a cup of tea any day. We've also got some hot chocolate. Hot chocolate, this is orange flavoured. And we've also got this orange flavour energy powder, which brilliant if you mix it with hot water. That's very sustaining on a cold day. Some hot orange. Okay, more drinks. This bag contains everybody's favourite tea and coffee. But what else have we got? Tea, coffee, sweetener or sugar with creamer. Personally, I tend to discard the likes of creamers and sugars because it's just more rubbish to carry around. Let's get the tea and coffee. Yeah, 2 teas, 2 coffees, chewing gum, and we're down to ancillary parts, which include wet wipes for washing pans and spoons after you finish cooking or eating, water purification tablets, of which there are 6, and each tablet can treat 1 litre of water. 1 tablet, wait for 30 minutes in your water and it should be safe to drink thereafter. We also have what's known as lifeboat matches. These are waterproof and they'll also stay alight even in wind. So they're handy to have. Other ancillaries, the plastic spork, which is a combination of a fork and a spoon. As you can see, this is fairly robust. It's better than the ones you get in the fast food outlets. And also tissues for helping wash plates, etc. after use. Last couple of things to point out, boiled sweets, and you'll notice these are individually wrapped, which is a bit of a pain. It's a bit time consuming. I tend to either open them up before I go out camping or out for adventures, or just buy some Haribos from the shops and replace these. But they are full of energy. And lastly, we have the essential hot pepper sauce to go on your main meals. Right, in the bottom there, just some information about the contents and the questionnaire. You see the cardboard box, fairly bulky. I personally wouldn't be wanting to store one of those inside my rucksack. But it is useful if you're storing it inside a vehicle, a boat, a caravan, or in your stockpiling it in your survival pantry. You can also use the cardboard to help start fires should that be a requirement. Like I say, each box 24 hours worth of food, 2 kilograms in weight, and there's approximately 4,000 calories in each one. So let's move on to some ancillary parts. First up is methods of carriage. So I tend to take the plastic bags that the tea and coffee was stored in and repurpose them. You can use these for putting items such as the snack containers in. Or you can use them for discarding waste. You put the rubbish in there, and again it keeps things organised and under control. So carrier bags are useful. The zipped bags, as we've seen before. So what I tend to do, I'll get the main meals. Main meals will go in one bag. You can maybe put the snacks in with it, or carry that separately somewhere more accessible, so I don't have to stop and empty the contents of my rucksack every time I need to get something to eat. But I can literally have one bag with 24 hours worth of food in, and do the same if I've got more to carry. So that's one option. Okay, what else can we do? Well, move that to one side. Let's have a look at other ancillary parts that we can carry should we be trekking on foot or out in the wilderness. First and foremost, this spoon. We've talked about that. Sharpened at one end, steel so it doesn't rust, and it's also tough, doesn't break. You might want to add a full set of cutlery. This is just a micro set. Doesn't take up a great deal of space, but sometimes it's nice to be able to cut things with a knife and have a proper knife and fork with your meal. A Leatherman or something of that description. Leathermans or multi-tools are useful because you can pick up hot pans and also use the knife blade to open containers. Pocket knife. So next up we need something to light fuel fires with. So the stove we need to light with a lighter, or we can use the lifeboat matches that come with the kit. Obviously some sort of drinking vessel. This is a Swedish foldable cup. It takes up very little space and quite durable. Also a pot scrub. That moves me on to, well, how do we cook these items? Well, first and foremost, let me introduce a couple of different cooking vessels. This one is a very basic solid fuel stove. The solid fuel in this respect, this is Fire Dragon alcohol gel, which basically take the lid off. Like so, and you'll see the fuel inside. We can then put the container inside the solid fuel stove and light it like so. You'll notice that burns very quickly, and just to save waste, we'll extinguish that and come to it another time. So alcohol gel. This is a metal mug. The metal mug or the pot would rest on top of the stove along with a measure of water. So, light the stove, put the pan on, take out a boil in the bag meal and fold up the contents and place it into the container. Try not to overfill the pan because otherwise the water will boil out when you push the food in. And after about 5 minutes that should be piping hot. carefully remove the food pouch. That will be very hot, but one good thing about that, on a cold day you can use this as a mini hot water bottle. Watch you don't burn your skin, but put that between your layer of clothing, keep yourself warm, and then leave it for 5-10 minutes before opening up and consuming your meal. Helpful to have a long spoon so you can get right to the bottom of the bag. Right, another cooking method we have is this one here. This is called a jet boil. A jet boil is a gas powered stove. This is the stove unit itself, and it comes with a gas bottle. The stove attaches to the gas bottle. This is a screw thread version. Just check this works. Piezoelectric, as you can see the flame shooting out there. This then attaches to the bottom of the stove by means of a simple screw thread. That's attached. You'll notice as well, this is to protect the bottom of the pan. It's a titanium pan, so it's lightweight, and you can use it either for drinking out of, eating out of, or for storing some of your tea and coffee sachets. Similar thing, fill it with water, switch on, and place the food item inside. Again, don't overfill it, and what you may have to do is, after a couple of minutes, turn the container around, or turn the pouch around so the contents are heated up evenly and distributed throughout. Give that a few minutes. In fact, I'm going to leave that just to bring it to the boil, just to show you how quickly that works. Again, take the contents, place it between your clothing on a cold day. It's a big morale boost prior to eating your food. Other things that come with the jet boil, a lid. You'll notice as well that this has got a fabric cover around the titanium pan. Now, when that's switched off, it should be able to pick the pan up, the pot up, without burning your hand. But these are very quick indeed. That's not on full power. I'll turn that up a bit. It also comes complete with a stand for the gas stove, and it can use the various sizes of gas container as well. I'll just demonstrate that. So, stable platform for the gas, and we've also got this attachment which you can use if you want to use other types of cooking pots, such as a frying pan. So very compact, quiet as well, and as I say, these are remarkably quick compared to many other gas stoves. So the heat off that's terrific at the minute. It's really warming up. If it doesn't like with the piezoelectric starter, a Zippo or a gas lighter out of your kit, that ought to cover it. Right, I think I'll help myself to a nice cup of coffee. And again, some of these sachets, open it with the sharpened end of your spoon. Obviously take great care. The last thing you want to do, especially out in nature, is cause an injury to yourself. So coffee, the plastic bag for disposing of contents. Let's put the refuge in there. Oh, that's burning already, as you can see. You've got to be quick with jet boils. They are expensive bits of kit, but they come to the boil almost within minutes. That's literally a couple of minutes since we put that on, and that's boiling already. As I said, these, you can pick these up using the heat protection layer on the pan, or you can just drink out of the pan once it's cooled down sufficiently. But in this case, I'll just have that on my Swedish folding cup. Okay, let's put that to one side. Right. Some of the items I tend not to take. I will tend to discard some things like creamer, for example. As I said, it's just extra rubbish to get rid of, and sometimes the faff on. Tend to get rid of the boiled sweets. But what I do is I will also supplement this with other forms of food that you can buy from the local supermarket. Maybe dehydrated soups, chocolate bars, fruit and nuts, or perhaps some luxury items to treat yourself. When you're out in nature, away from home, it's quite nice to have a treat every now and again, so that's another consideration. Lastly, chewing gum. That comes with the ancillary part of the 24-hour ration pack. Helpful for cleaning your teeth and freshening your breath too. So there's the British Army 24-hour ration pack and a couple of methods of cooking. So right now I'm going to have a brew, but hopefully catch you on another video.